By the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time now to lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. It is time now.
Good evening and welcome. We're so glad to welcome you here to the Mount Diablo Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm the Reverend Leslie Takahashi. My pronouns are she and her, and we are so very, very grateful to be part of this celebration. The verb persevere comes from the Latin root perseverus, which means continual, steadfast, and persistent. And that word comes from also the word root very and strict. So today, the word persistence and persevere means to persist in a methodical way despite obstacles or distractions. And that seems like an appropriate word in which to open this celebration, which we are so grateful to have today. The graduates that we will honor here today understand perseverance of a special kind, the perseverance of the spirit of the possible in the midst of what the seeming impossible, and also willingness at a time in which it seems as if it is hard to be willing. So we are so grateful to celebrate them, to honor them, and to pay tribute to this particular resistant, persistent, faithful group of graduates. We are, as I said, honored to host this event, and on a purely practical level, I will tell you that the restrooms, so you don't have to persevere in finding them, are down the hall to the right, and then you'll see them on the right, and that we appreciate you remaining masked at all times except when speaking in this ceremony as we continue to work here to keep everyone safe. So let us enter into this holy occasion, this celebration. Come, let us celebrate together.
We now will take a moment to acknowledge the original and ongoing Indigenous peoples of the land upon which we are all being held. Take a moment to locate your body wherever you are and take a breath. Here in Walnut Creek and the Greater Bay Area, if we are not Indigenous to this place, we occupy unceded land of the Chochenyo-speaking Ohlone peoples, the Miwok, the Confederated villages of the Lishon, and the Yokuts. We take the time to say their names to recall the history and the ongoing colonization and land theft that ripped these lands and cultural ways from their original inhabitants. Even under these circumstances, Indigenous communities continue to thrive in resilience, resistance, and stewardship of the lands and communities of Turtle Island. Our words are made real when they yield action. If you live in the Bay Area, you can pay a Shi'umi land tax through the Segurite Land Trust, an urban Indigenous women-led organization who are rematriating the land and their cultures. If you occupy a land outside of the Bay Area, somewhere on the Zoom land, please take a moment to place the names of the Indigenous peoples where you live, and if you do not know their names, there's a map that we'll put in the chat, a fabulous resource to learn more about whose land you are on. As we learn more about the ways we can show up for healing the land and each other, we strengthen the web of relations among all of us as peoples, human and non-human alike. May it be so. And so it is.
The flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. Most Unitarian Universalist congregations begin their worship on Sunday mornings by lighting one in the form of a lamp or a candle. When we light the chalice in worship, we illuminate a world that we feel called upon to serve with love and a sense of justice. The flame is what one of our beloved congregational hymns term the fire of commitment. Originally, the flaming chalice was a two-dimensional image stamped on documents created by the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee to help Jewish refugees escape Nazi persecution in the eve of World War II. Today, we light our chalice in recognition of this proud tradition and to bring us all together in the spirit of community and love.
So tonight we will be using the words that are the Starr King's chalice lighting words, and they will be in your order of service and in the chat box if you're online. So please say them along with us now. With the kindling of this flame, we affirm our commitment to accept life's gifts with grace and gratitude and use them to bless the world in the spirit of love.
We are here. We are here right now in this room and in many places, interconnected to each other and to the whole web of life. We are here to celebrate. We are here fully with our full body selves, with our joys and our beauty, with our pain and aches and struggles, fears and anxieties, hopes and dreams, successes and work in progress. We are here with our courage and our anger, with our commitment and our sense of purpose. We are here with our complexities and our gifts. We are here as lovers of learning and lovers of justice. As we are here, we call on the presence of the source of life and all the spirits of all beings who supported us, who gave us life and sustained us in many different ways. The spirit of those who inspired us with awe, that taught us to love and struggle and be bold. They gave us witnesses of their truths that model courage, compassion, and wisdom, that fought for justice and peace for all beings, that call us to ever greater accountability and deeper relationships, that restore our spirit with everyday transcendent beauty. We are here to celebrate in many places and yet connected. We are here in deep gratitude. We are here. May it be so.
Good evening and welcome. Wow, this is good. I'm the Reverend Rosemary Bray McNatt. My pronouns are she and her, and it is my honor to serve as president of Starr King School for the Ministry in Oakland, California. I want to offer a special welcome to all of you who have joined us on our live stream. We are so glad that you could join us on this special night. I also want to rejoice at the very existence of this hybrid ceremony. It's the first time we've been together in 3 years. So let's just say yes to that. It is wonderful, truly wonderful, to see you all in person and to see you on Zoom screens. I wish you could be with us, but you are. Thank you to all of the Starr King faculty and staff who have worked so hard, not only to create this ceremony, but to teach and support and uphold this school and its values. I so appreciate you. Thank you to our hosts here at Mount Diablo, including Reverend Leslie, and the many staff members who have partnered or are partnering right now with Starr King staff to help create this ceremony. I would also like to ask families and friends of our graduates to stand and be recognized as you are able and wherever you are. Thank you. There would be no celebration without you. Parents, partners, children, friends of those who graduate tonight. Thank you for helping our graduates cross the finish line. I'd like to thank Emma's Revolution for joining us. It is an honor to have you with us. Even as we celebrate the achievements of our graduates tonight, there is a shadow that hovers over this ceremony, over all our lives, over this country and this world. Now, we know, as religious people, that the world has always been messy and broken, even as it has been grace-filled and beautiful. We who have been called into religious service of any kind recognize these multiple truths. We learn to navigate them. We support others as they too learn to manage the complications that come with being alive. But we are living through an exceptionally dangerous moment in the life of our world. The global rise of authoritarianism, bound to fundamentalist religious belief, with the ropes of white supremacy culture wrapping it all together. It is a malignant combination that marginalized people have long recognized, but has now begun to make itself felt even to those who imagine themselves to be immune. Allow me to give only one example. Last week's leak of the pending Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe versus Wade gave us a glimpse of the outrageous direction in which our nation is headed. And a careful reading of the 90-plus pages of that draft opinion should strike fear into every freedom-loving heart. Not only will it have the effect of forced pregnancy for hundreds of thousands of people each year, but it undermines a pregnant person's bodily autonomy by dismissing their right to privacy. The draft opinion does not believe that the right to privacy exists within the confines of the United States Constitution as part of our unenumerated rights. Such a ruling opens the door, no matter what Alito says, for reversals of rulings that protect the use of contraception, same-sex marriage, and interracial marriage. And for the white nationalists who have made common cause with the religious right, these are not the main goals. As the noted white nationalist Peter Brimelow celebrated in the wake of the Supreme Court leak, he alerted us all about the implications of overturning precedents in the current climate. And I quote, "Next stop, Brown versus Board." He was referring to the landmark ruling meant to end segregation in public schools. You graduate tonight in a country torn between its future and its past. I believe deeply that the work you have done at Starr King has prepared you for this struggle. And I also believe your struggles will be real and painful, as the world we know shifts with frightening intensity. And yet I also believe that you will never be alone in these lives that you are choosing to lead. I believe that the holy is always at work, even when we cannot immediately sense it. It is easy to imagine that the divine is doing a disappearing act right now, that God has turned their back on us, especially now that faith and religion itself has been weaponized, used not to liberate humanity, but to control and to subdue it. You, each one of you, are a part of the antidote to poisonous religion that our world desperately needs to see. Your very presence is an example of resilient, joyous, tireless championship for love and for justice. Wherever you find yourself in this world, your calling serves as a faithful witness for those who have lost hope in religious life, lost hope in our country, or lost hope in themselves and their power to make a difference. You are religious leaders graduating into a conflicted, beautiful, messy, glorious, complicated, dangerous world. But we need each and every one of you just the same, with all of your own beautiful, messy, glorious complications, to reflect for others the face of the holy in our midst. And so I celebrate with you the promises that you have made. I celebrate that you are ready, because you are, to take up your part of this great work. Finally, I thank you for taking up the challenge of faithful life in hostile times. This dream we hold in common, a dream of counter-oppressive, multi-religious, just, and sustainable life, is a sacred trust, and it is in mortal danger. I honor your commitment and your courage. I bless you on your journey. We will be with you. Congratulations, blessed be, Ashe, Shalom, and Amen. It is my honor, even in my sadness, to pay tribute to a member of the Starr King community that we lost this year, Matthew P. Taylor. We have an opportunity to honor him, and the Board of Trustees Chair, Ted Fetter, will read the conferral of an honorary degree to Matthew. Ted, if you please.
Thank you, Rosemary. In memory of Matthew P. Taylor, who advanced in the prescribed course of study at Starr King School for the Ministry with exceeding passion and skill, the degree of Master of Divinity, honoris causa, is awarded by the trustees and faculty this day, May 12, 2022.
Thank you, Ted. Before we continue, I want to just say that there have been many tributes to Matthew since his passing. And what I can't forget is the tribute that was paid to him by the congregation where he did his internship. The grief among those members was palpable. Even though Matthew had never met a single person in that congregation face to face, it was a tribute to the power and reach of his ministry. And we were grateful to have him among us. His sister, Karen Brantley, is here on Zoom. And Karen, if you would like to speak, we would be honored.
Hello. I'm lost for words. I thank y'all for really loving my brother. I didn't know he was that loved until this tragic happened, and it's still really hard. But I thank y'all very much. I don't know what else to say.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. He is so greatly loved.
Yeah,
And Diane Daniels would like to continue and tell you how much.
okay, thank you. Thank you.
Diane?
My heart leaps with joy at this opportunity to celebrate the life and the impact of my little brother, Matthew Taylor. Matthew and I met early in my Starr King journey, and I remember talking to him about the merits of Starr King's curriculum and courses as he was making his decision on where to attend. I am personally grateful that he chose Starr King because that would give me a chance to get to know him a little better. He had a smile that would light up a room and made you feel at home right away. I was honored to carry the title Big Sister because they taught me as much as I taught them, if not more. And I know I was in phenomenal company with his other siblings in love. Matthew had a vision and a purpose. He was already a leader. Blazing a trail of his own, he was sure of his commitment and his path. And he delighted in sharing his faith, both UU and pagan, with others. Matthew was always eager to share his experiences, his wisdom, and his big, beautiful heart. So much of him was wonderfully giving and concerned for others. He was an active member of BLUE, Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism, and on one special BLUE evening, he and I performed impromptu tarot card readings for our fellow attendees at that Zoom session. We bounced ideas and energy off of each other and shared our gifts with those present, encouraging each other and those we read for. He encouraged me to lean into and to trust my gifts and my heart, the touch of spirit and the benevolent presence of the goddess. He was unashamed to be himself, as evidenced by his gorgeous locks with that beautiful touch of red and equally gorgeous poetry. I was devastated to learn of his passing, gone far too soon and with so much ahead of him. He is very much missed, and I know he's here with us today, celebrating with all of us. Thank you, Matthew, for your friendship, for your love, for your big open heart, and your willingness to share so much of yourself with us all. Forever missed, never forgotten. Blessed be, dear little brother.
Finally, I just want to say, Karen, on behalf of the entire Starr King community, you are in our hearts and our prayers as you continue to mourn Matthew. And I hope that you will call on us if there is anything we can do to ease your burden. God bless you.
Same to you. Thank you.
Let us sing with the love and the grief in our hearts. In the first verse, when Pat sings a line, you can sing back the words, "In the light." In the second verse, when Pat sings a line, you can sing back the words, "In the dark." And in the third verse, we'll sing back the words, "We begin."
We have come in the light to this place, in the light with our hearts, in the light open wide. We are here in the light giving voice, in the light to the truth, in the light we divide. Let us sing for today. Let us learn better ways, showing love in the light, giving hope in the light we create, in the light better days. We are born in the dark, we are fed in the dark, we connect in the dark through the veil. We are held in the dark, we are healed in the dark, mysteries in the dark we reveal. Let us sing for today. Let us learn better ways, showing love in the dark, giving hope in the dark we create, in the dark better days. Time is now. We begin where we are. We begin, we have all. We begin that we need to renew. We begin to release. We begin to rebuild. We begin to believe. Let us sing for today. Let us learn better ways, showing love. We begin giving hope. We begin, we create. We begin better days. Let us sing for today. Let us learn better ways, showing love. We begin giving hope. We begin, we create. We begin better days, showing love. We begin giving hope. We begin, we create. We begin better days.
On behalf of the faculty, staff, students, and community of Starr King School for the Ministry, allow me to be among the first to congratulate you on your forthcoming achievement in graduating on this beautiful spring day. On this momentous occasion, I'm reminded of my own commencement in 2007 with the first cohort from the mask program, during which the Reverend Barb Grieve referred to our institution as our small but mighty school. That descriptor has stuck with me since that time, given how appropriately it seemed to illustrate a core spiritual community that has worked for decades to counter oppressions in environs that seem continually stacked against that objective. What does it mean to be mighty? One version of this word in Arabic is the word jabbar, which has the connotation of mighty or powerful, and shares the same root as jabara, which means to set, as in to set a broken bone or to restore. So perhaps we can conceive of being mighty as the ability to restore peace and harmony to a broken and battered world. His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, however, cautions us that peace does not mean just a mere absence of violence, and that nonviolent action depends entirely on peace of mind. During your time here at Starr King School for the Ministry, you've learned how to have difficult conversations, to put your beliefs and histories on the line to examine your own biases, and to do the work in educating to counter oppressions and create just and sustainable communities. Your charge as graduates will be to take that approach of self-reflection and compassionate action into your communities and restore peace to the corners of the world that you occupy. This is not the kind of peace that silences others or sweeps micro and macro aggressions under the rug for the sake of preserving the status quo. It's the type of peace that celebrates diversity, challenges false binaries, and examines one's own privileges and biases to better understand the content and context of one's actions in the pursuit of justice. It's the active process of doing peace, or what the late Thich Nhat Hanh called being peace, drawing upon the wisdom of your experience to meet each challenge with empathy and altruism. So receive today our blessing, and with it the offering to be mighty in your intention to restore harmony, to be compassionate in your disposition towards helping others, to be critical about your own predispositions and biases, and above all, to be peace.
We come now to the heart of the matter, the conferral of certificates and degrees in course. As we declare these persons to be graduates of Starr King School for the Ministry, equipped, prepared, with joy, with some tears, sent out into the world with the blessing that has been given, to choose love, to choose justice, to choose beloved community. I turn now to the screen and I invite Chair of the Board, Dr. Ted Fetter, to give the charge of conferral.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Starr King School for the Ministry and the State of California, and on the recommendation of the faculty, academic dean, and president of Starr King School for the Ministry, I have the honor of conferring the following tokens of academic achievement, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto: the Certificate of Multi-Religious Studies, the degree of Master of Arts in Social Change, and the degree of Master of Divinity. Congratulations.
Will the graduates please rise? We begin with the certificate in multi-religious studies, and we hold in our hearts and congratulate one who is not present, but who celebrates tonight, Miranda Katsambas. Now for the Master of Arts in Social Change, Sonia Beth Desarn. On the screen, we congratulate Lee Ann Luskin. On the screen, we congratulate Anna Kogel Ostow. Tovis Erica Page. Now we turn to the Master of Divinity, Amy Joanne Allen. And turning to the screen, we congratulate Rebecca L. Bernard. Julianne Erickson Bond. Simone Chiodini. Turning to the screen, we congratulate Diane Marie Elaine Daniels. Remaining on the screen, we congratulate Allison Cole Duran Sutherland. Joseph C. Gabayev. Rin Gannon Pinto. Eric Halseth. Ellen Lorraine Parks. Yael Schoenzeit. Turning to the screen, we congratulate Hannelore Louisa Stone. Esther Ivana Caroline Wallace. Though she is not present tonight, we hold in our hearts and congratulate Sharon Weld. And now for the dual degree of Master of Divinity and Master of Arts in Social Change, Rebecca Elizabeth Elias Oak Leach Poor. And so, as we close this time, we extend our deepest congratulations to the entire class of the 118th academic year of Starr King School for the Ministry.
These last several years have been an incredibly challenging time to be human, maybe to be anything on this planet. But it's an incredibly auspicious time to step into the position of being a leader, religious or otherwise, and contemplating that courage and how and the perseverance that it required to get here, and thinking about how incredibly deeply the world needs leaders and just conscious leaders. We couldn't hold back, so we wrote a song for you all.
For you,
For all of you.
1, 2, 3. We found a great love rise within us. We found a great hope guide us forward through all of the days and all of the nights. We longed to be here.
We found true strength in our voices. We found open hearts, drawn to justice through all of the wounds and all of the healing. We longed to be here, and I was right there by your side, separated by the miles across the great divide. I could see your laughter, I could see your tears. Now I'm right here by your side. And from here, we step beyond the threshold. And from here, we search to find our place. And from here, we hold these treasured moments, remembering the beauty of each face.
We came by many paths to heed our calling, opening many doors while the world was closing. Through all of the loss and all of the blessings, we longed to be here. And you were right there by my side, separated by the miles across the great divide. You could hear my laughter, I could see your tears. Now you're right here by my side. And from here, we step beyond the threshold. And from here, Thank you so much. It's very new. We'll record it for you so we get all the words right the next time.
Well, I think I speak for all of us when I say that was just really, really lovely. So, there are bright moments in our lives that stand out in vibrant relief, and this moment for me is undoubtedly one of these. It's a pleasure and a blessing to be able to share that moment with friends and family and mentors, professors, advisors, and my cohort, and so many people who have supported, nurtured, shaped, and held me in so many different ways. And also with those folks who didn't make it here, but I know who are here supporting us in spirit. So many folks have given me so much over the years, and how the years and these relationships can shape and change us. So 11 years, 10 months, and 7 days ago, I stepped out of prison gates, and after hard years of addiction and despair, I was determined to give my best self to the world, though I wasn't quite sure what that looked like yet. And these last few years, I've been able to catch glimpses of that self reflected and refracted through this community and through others that are close to my heart. I've been inspired and shaped and made better and stronger by so many lives who have touched my own throughout this process. And this for me is the heart of ministry, and it's the heart of change making. It's connections, it's relationships, it's those miracles that we find in one another when we meet as holy and authentically ourselves. When we open ourselves up to each other, when we learn to see with one another's eyes, when we feel with one another's hearts, understanding that our connections are profound, inherent, and soul deep, that we belong to one another, that we're not separate, we're not apart. And this day, this accomplishment of which we're all of us so undeniably proud, it's not simply a result of my own achievement or our own achievements. We did this together. And it's a necessity that we continue to hold and nurture and lean on one another, because there's so much in the world that would seek to pull us apart, and so much work that we're all of us called to do. So thank you all of you that are here physically and virtually, for the ways that you have shaped me, held me, inspired me, and loved me into being. For all the ways you continue to believe in me and cheer me on, even when it's been hard for me to believe in myself. I know that with all of your support and influence and love, absolutely anything is possible. So may you all be blessed, and may we all be blessings to each other. Thank you.
Good evening, y'all. I am a member of the immunocompromised community, and I thank you for your understanding as I stay masked up and try to project. Wonderful. As we mark this sweet, liminal moment in time, I find myself oriented to immense gratitude. Gratitude for the blessing of being here in this body, in this room and these Zoom rooms, marking the culmination of so much work, so much learning, and so much transformation. I want to offer some specific gratitudes to those who have supported me in my time of radical studies and transformation at Starr King. When I came to Starr King, I had no real sense of what it meant to be an embodied being. Trauma and capitalism kept me from connecting with my body, this disabled body, my ancestors, and my own optimal pace. So I want to offer my deep gratitude to Teama for so much, and especially for inviting me into relationship with my own body, with my ancestors, and with optimal pace. I offer my great gratitude to Ibrahim Baba, who rises in the luminous darkness to bless us with ancestor wisdom, love, and insight. Thank you, Baba, for to this day creating spaces of beloved belonging for those of us who are told we do not belong anywhere. Thank you to Tyson Casey for teaching me to sort for what's useful and pay attention to the weather, to finally understand how to keep stack, and to always return to the support of my breath. Deep gratitude to Sophia Betancourt for sparking in me a love of theology and showing me in every class and every interaction the kind of teacher and leader I aspire to be. Thank you, Chris Fry, for assuring me there was a place for my disabled self here at Starr King and in ministry. I would not be here today without your encouragement. My gratitude to the Starr King student body, to everyone on the faculty and staff, and everyone I've served with on curriculum committee and Team Eco. Your perspectives and wisdoms have made me a more thoughtful member of every community I'm a part of. To my luminous, benevolent ancestors, and especially my grandmother, Alice Mildred Wooliver Paris, you teach me the ways of joy and liberation every day. I remember you and love you. Thank you. Thank you to my family, friends, and communities. In particular, I offer gratitude to my Wednesday night writing group. You've heard the joys and the exasperations and loved me through them all. I offer my gratitude to my beloved spouse, Alex. You have been my constant companion throughout this journey. You've witnessed my epiphanies, my frustrations, and my panicked last-minute typing every semester. And throughout it all, you've loved me and told me to follow my calling. Thank you. And finally, to the more than human world, to all the ones who dwell within, to you who hover over my soul, I go forth from this place in greater devotion than when I came in. Thank you. Amen.
The medieval German theologian and mystic Meister Eckhart famously said this, and you'll hear a theme here. If the only prayer you ever say in your entire lifetime is thank you, it will be enough. I first read that line in my early 20s when I was a dogmatic atheist, and it resonated even then. If the only prayer you ever say in your entire lifetime is thank you, it will be enough. The longer I live and the more immersed I become in spiritual practice, religious community, and faith-rooted justice work, the more I agree with this statement. And here's why. It centers both relationship and sufficiency. We live in a relational universe, and there is enough. We are interdependent, and we are enough. My time at Starr King has reaffirmed my deep knowing that orienting to these two truths, interdependence and sufficiency, is both radical and liberating in a society bent on denying both. It is my sacred intention to pursue ministry guided by these two truths and to pray continuously, thank you, thank you. So thank you, Starr King community. Thank you, family, especially George, Zev, and Milo. Thank you, Bay Area Rapid Transit and Zoom. Thank you, sun and moon, earth and breath. Thank you, beings of every form upon whom my life and ministry depend. Together, we are enough. Thank you.
Hello, community. It's so good to be here in person with you and on Zoom with those of you at home. I came to Starr King because I thought I knew some things. I thought I knew some things from my career in neuroscience of pain and traumatic brain injury. I thought I knew some things from my own near-death experience. And I arrived at Starr King and broke my leg the night before our first day, if any of you remember that. And it's been holding close this teacher of pain while also knowing what can grow from it, without a love or light healing, without a lie of a lizard brain, without some business of fundamentalism. And what I've found in my 5 years at Starr King is the answer of the direction that I know I'm going to go in neuroethics and healthcare. And it's because of this community, my classmates who've been comrades and collaborators and now colleagues, my professors and teachers, the staff and administration I got to know as hospitality minister, student body president, student body vice president, and I'm so grateful for this time. There's something that I know. This world is ecstatic, more than human, beyond our classifications of what's good and what's not. And the path forward is only possible through a liberation and reconciliation of our broken relationships. And so if I call together this community that I know will always be in my heart, it is because we are on the same path towards a freedom possible. And so I end with these words of Assata Shakur written on my prayer card that I keep in my pocket with this joyful image of Audre Lorde swimming that reminds me of what joy is. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Thank you.
Hi, I'm going to read a poem by Mary Oliver called Praying. It doesn't have to be the blue iris. It could be weeds in a vacant lot or a few small stones. Just pay attention and patch a few words together and don't try to make them elaborate. This isn't a contest, but the doorway into thanks and a silence in which another voice may speak. Thank you.
We want to sing this very familiar song in three ways. First, in a way that will hold the grief, the fear, the deep need for contemplating that inner voice, and hold all of those in this first time through. And after the next group of speakers, we'll do something else, because this song can hold all of these emotions and everything from a deep, solemn prayer to an incredible celebration. So please sing with us. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Deep down in my heart. Deep down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Deep down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Deep down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Hi, everyone. Thank you to all the Starr King staff, administration, faculty, my fellow students for making this ritual possible. I'm a little surprised at how easy it feels to be here because I've been having a pretty difficult time and a difficult year. And it's been the kind of difficulty where every step forward can be painful. And so it's like, cross a threshold, no thank you. But here I am, and it's because of the incredible resource in my life, within and without. And I share all of this with you because I want to be seen, and seen in the ways that there is both groundlessness and also ground in my life. And sharing this complexity has become part of what I offer the world. And I'm proud. And I want to thank just some of the many resources in my life. I want to start with Starr King, everyone who I've related with there, classmates, faculty, staff, you've all been my teachers. I especially want to thank my advisor, Tyson, for the joy of working with someone both different than me and also deeply aligned. My friends who are tuned in here, friends on the journey together, you know who you are. And my teachers in the somatic lineage, particularly Meredith Broom, and my teachers in the untraining, Janet Carter and Ro Horton. And then my beloved family, my dad and my sisters are here with me now, and I have love for all of my siblings. And I have aunts and uncles and cousins and grandparents tuned in, and I wouldn't be here without their support and love. And then my mom, Linda, whose love I truly do not have words for. Thank you all.
So good. Good afternoon and evening, fellow graduates, family, and friends. When I first started to feel the call toward ministry, it was during conferences that my beloved husband, Aaron, and I attended. We were often asked, "Are you two ministers, and where's your church?" Over the years that followed, I began to feel the call as I experienced thought-provoking, heart-expanding, soul-uplifting services at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Norwich, which you'll hear me refer to as UUCN. It was at UUCN that I first fell in love with speakers from the pulpit. I felt much better after the services and the sermons than I did before I walked in the door. All the ministers who impacted me the most, whose words stirred that longing in my heart, they had all graduated from Starr King School for the Ministry. That made it my first and my only choice for my ministerial education. I began my journey at Starr King in the fall of 2016, leaning toward 2017, with more than a little uncertainty. Was I really fit for this? Could I really do it? Supported by my calling, my beloved family, my wonderful advisors, my fellow students, and the Starr King faculty and administration, I just kept walking my path. I learned about the depth of my own strength. I was challenged and supported and encouraged to keep moving forward. And here I am, here we are, at this beloved and phenomenal event, celebrating the completion of an important step on my journey, earning my Master of Divinity degree and looking forward to fulfilling the promise of my ministry. Thank you so much, beloveds. I'm ready, and I'm going to do you proud.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's so good to be here with all of you. My name is Becca Bernard. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm calling in from my home in Anchorage, Alaska, which is built on lands of the Dena'ina Athabascan people. I offer my respect and gratitude to the Dena'ina people and to the lands and waters themselves for the gift of life. I also offer my gratitude to each one of you who I've had the blessing to know during my time at Starr King. Every student, teacher, and administrator that I've crossed paths with has taught me something, has helped me to expand my heart and my vision of what life on earth can be. I also offer my deepest gratitude to my family, my husband Michael, my daughter Rosa, and my son Leo, for supporting me through this journey, tolerating my absences, and giving me brilliant beings to love. And I also want to offer my thanks to my siblings and all my friends who are online tonight. I came to Starr King not being clear about my path forward, but knowing only that I needed a profound shift of direction. After working as an environmental lawyer for over 20 years, I felt in my bones that I needed to find a new way to wrestle with the issues that I care about. A way that engaged not only my analytical mind, but my heart, spirit, and body, my whole being. I needed to find a way to work for change in the world that begins with love and connectedness, respect, and faith. Starr King has helped me to find this way. Through Starr King and Unitarian Universalism, I am learning how to lead with love, even while my heart breaks for all that is not well in the world. I'm learning that faith means holding fast to my vision for the world that could be, despite what my eyes see all around me. And I am sharing these lessons through all the ways that I minister to others. For all of this, and for wherever the path takes me from here, I am profoundly grateful. Thank you.
Blessings to all. I want to thank all of you that have supported and loved me through this transformational and rich journey. First, to my beloved Starr King School for the Ministry that grabbed me and stretched me to realize my own truth and the truth of others. A shout out to the staff who keep all the inner workings possible and who are always willing to help. Thank you to all of my professors whose knowledge and insight inspired my hungry and seeking soul. To my fellow students who amazed and dazzled me with unique visions of how the world is and how it can be. And to my family and friends who are present and loving when times were joyful and when times were rough. Thank you. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King invoked one of our ancestors, Theodore Parker, when saying, "The arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice." As witnesses, we know that arc to be enormously long, such that we cannot even see a glimpse of the end. And then there are times like these when we feel that we are slipping backwards. As we are justice seeking people, I offer an abbreviated version of the lyrics of the well-known song, More Waters Rising, written by Sarah Lynch Thomason. And there are more waters rising, this I know, this I know. There are more waters rising, this I know. There are more waters rising, they will find their way to me. There are more waters rising, this I know. There are more fires burning. There are more mountains falling. But we graduates of Starr King, we will wade through the waters, walk through the fires, and rebuild the mountains. This I know. Amen.
Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. In the spirit of justice, I'm gonna let it shine. In the spirit of justice, I'm gonna let it shine. In the spirit of justice, I'm shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
There are those, now ancestors, whose corporeal presence I long for, to share the celebration of this achievement today. With some of their and my favorite poems, I call the well spirits to come to the here and now, so that I may feel their closeness, just as I hear the echoes of their voices in these lines that they repeated so often. The poems I've borrowed from have been at times comforting, inspirational, reassuring, and humorous. This mashup is dedicated to my people and to my fellow graduates. All honor and respect to Khalil Gibran, John O'Donohue, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Jalal ad-Din Muhammad, Mary Oliver, Margaret L. Mitchell, and William Ernest Henley. I let out a yell that would topple Manhattan. How do you pray? There are hundreds of ways to kneel and kiss the ground. We are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. The only thing we have to fear is fear. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. The world offers itself to your imagination over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. And so may a slow wind work these words of love around you, an invisible cloak to mind your life. Let the beauty we love be what we do. I thank whatever gods may be for your unconquerable soul. May the nourishment of the earth be yours. May the clarity of light be yours. May the fluency of the ocean be yours. May the protection of the ancestors be yours.
I was a big musical theater fan as a young person. My grandmother, Sylvia Gannon, may her name be for a blessing, would treat me to Broadway shows in New York City every year for my birthday. When I grounded into the future of this moment, what came through my body was the Rodgers and Hammerstein song from the musical carol, Carousel, You'll Never Walk Alone. The song is sung twice in the musical, once after the tragic death of the main male character, and again at a graduation, where this now ancestor shows up to invite his daughter to follow the speaker's words, that parents' successes and failures are not to shape where you can go, and to, quote, keep your faith and your courage, and you'll turn out all right. I want to thank my parents and my parents' parents and the ancestors that continue to go backwards and backwards before me. And I also want to thank the generations ahead, the future that is yet to be born. And there are so many names and gratitudes in my heart that I can't name them all. So thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone. You know who you are. In my research around the song, I also discovered that the song had become an anthem for medical staff, first responders, and those that have been in quarantine during these wild pandemic times. So I've adapted these words a little bit to reflect the journey we are embarking upon today. My prayer is that this rendition of the song Call all of our well ancestors to guide each one of us on our paths, whispering encouragement with a hand at our backs. And that the dramatic belt of my voice ring like an echo to all who need to know that they are never alone. And I'll put on my mask now to sing. As you charge through this threshold, hold your head up high. As you enter into the luminous dark, and on your path, shining golden lights, and the sweet silver song of your heart. Listen to the winds, get drenched by the rains. Keep coming in California, though your feet be tossed and blown. Dream on, pray on, with collective liberation in your bones, and you'll never serve alone. You'll never be alone.
Wow, what an act to follow. Brava. In my high school yearbook, the quote I included with my photo was, "We are more than human beings, we are human becomings." And I still believe this to be true. It's my own sacred mantra. Taking on a Master of Divinity degree in midlife is not for the faint of heart. And the last 6 years have been an amazing journey of personal growth and transformation and becomings. They say it takes a village, and well, this path takes several villages, many villages. And I want to thank the radical, multi-religious, counter-oppressive village of Starr King, as Diane said, the one and only choice I ever had and made. It was wonderful. And thank you to my advisors while here at Starr King, the Reverend Dr. Meg Richardson and Reverend Chris Long. And thank you to Taya Mashir and Dr. Ibrahim Farajage. May his memory be blessed. And Reverend Chris Fry and All Souls New York City, Reverend Dr. Aldette Fulbright and Pamela Patton, and my prayer group siblings, and all the many, many wonderful professors and administrators and mentors and special colleagues that I've befriended during this time. I would also not be crossing this threshold today without the support of my family and friends, and I lift you all up here, though too many to name individually. My deepest love and gratitude goes to my husband, John, and my children, Alden and Ella. To my parents, Glenn and Jane, for their boundless support. To my brother, Tom, and Florencia Bond for constant encouragement. And to Ken and Bernadette Wachter for their support while in Berkeley. So I can't wait to see what becomes of my ministry and all of ours in the future. And I commit to approaching it with curiosity and creativity, encouragement, and the power of yes. My divine mantra that has carried me past the unknowns and uncertainties of new experiences and has received me with grace and goodness. Thank you.
Does anyone here know what's actually going on right now? Because I don't. Whew. Take a breath with me, please. I have so many to thank. Thank you to my brothers, Sean and Neil. You are my life partners in the truest sense of the term. Thank you to my mom, Bridget. You are literally the best mom I could possibly imagine. And thank you to my dad, Barry. You have truly molded me into the person that I am today. There are so many more that I am thanking in my heart. And I want to share with you some words that were written by Alabaster de Plume, who is a London-based jazz and spoken word artist. I will not be safe. I will be magical. I will be open and true and good. And it will be the sound of me being magical. I will be incomplete. I will not be safe. Courage is not safe. I have the greatest gift of all to give. It's my love. It's the best thing in the world. And even though it doesn't need to be received for it to be so great, I will not be sheltered even by this fact. I will not choose cynicism or take it up on its delicious, bitter offer that is so comforting and familiar and final and fatalistic. I won't need any promises nor denials. I do not have the answer. I won't compose an ending to defend myself from blistering rays of hope. And I won't hide behind a sweet little word either. I will be naked like water. It's the worst place to be. It's the best place to be. It's where we are anyway. I will be there. I am there. Thank you.
Wow, so many beautiful speeches. I was like changing my speech in my head as y'all were going. Oh, my mom's reminding me to take off my mask for her video. Beloved community, I am so excited to be here today. Amid so much suffering, pain, and hardship in our world and on our planet, we have chosen to gather together and celebrate our commitment to love and justice. Let me begin by sharing a prayer for special occasions and new beginnings. As this is the first time we are gathering like this in some time, let us say the Shehechianu prayer, which is often said on Jewish holidays and for special rituals. I will recite the prayer in Hebrew and feel welcome to say Amen at the end. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'gianu lazman hazeh. First, I want to give thanks. I want to give gratitude to my advisors, Reverend Dr. Devorah Greenstein and Reverend Dr. Gabriella Latini, who have both supported me in immeasurable ways and helped me through this journey. To my parents, who have always supported and cared for me and loved me without end, thank you for instilling within me a love for God and learning, which continues to inspire me today. I love you so much, and I'm so grateful that you're here. To my teachers at Starr King, all of you who have shared your wisdom and knowledge with me, including and specifically Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt, Tyson Casey, and Taya Mashir, who have taught me so much. Thank you. I also want to give thanks to all my peers and colleagues and beloved friends who have traveled with me on this journey. Lastly, I want to acknowledge Dr. Ibrahim Farajajeh, who I knew as Baba, who inspired me to come to Starr King, and whose spirit continues to guide and illuminate my path. In honor of his spirit and work in the world, I want to offer a blessing to myself, my fellow graduates, and all of us here today, inspired by Baba's words at the 2013 symposium. May we be radically subversive religious leaders. May we be those who are willing to challenge paradigms, challenge structures of oppression, and encourage people to dream into reality new worlds. May we also be willing to be locked up for doing civil disobedience, for putting our bodies where our discourse is, and in so doing, to not necessarily lead the people, but to tap into the energy of the people that is already happening. May we be those who are really willing to build communities of resilience, of sustainability that are counter-oppressive, and who engage in the work of connecting the dots constantly. Amen, bless you, and thank you.
This one you let loose on.
Good evening, relatives, and congratulations, graduates. If you need a reason to contribute to the mission of Starr King School for the Ministry, there are 20 of them among us tonight, both virtually and on campus, who remind us of the powerful, progressive, religious leadership that comes from this institution. In 1904, Starr King School for the Ministry was a radical idea. No one could have predicted that 118 years later, Starr King would be one of the most important theological schools in North America. Our capacity to evolve has been a crucial part of our longevity. It is with this spirit that we have recently updated the images that represent our beloved school. Our new logo is a tribute to the Unitarian minister, Theodore Parker, who was mentioned earlier, whose wise words concerning the arc of the moral universe have been quoted by Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King Jr., and Barack Obama, while our new, more accessible color palette references both our UU history and our commitment to ecological justice. That same capacity for change has guided the school through a year defined by the ebbs and flows of a continuing pandemic. Our experience with distance learning and online community making has enabled Starr King to continue educating while also keeping our community safe. And we are excited to celebrate these 20 fiercely compassionate, progressive religious leaders graduating today. Today is a celebration of what our students, these students, have been able to achieve during this difficult time, even as we look toward a challenging future. As the war in Ukraine continues and anti-LGBT laws continue to threaten the most vulnerable among us, progressive religious leadership are needed now more than ever. This is our mission, to continue educating these leaders to counter oppressions of all kinds. To continue this mission, we are working toward a sustainable future for our beloved school. The work of religious leadership requires fearlessness in the face of challenges, as well as creativity and sacrifice. We are hopeful about the challenges that lie before us and excited about the ways in which these challenges will allow us to fulfill the mission that is at our core, to prepare counter-oppressive, justice-seeking, progressive religious leaders for the 21st century. Will you help us along our journey? Will you show your support through a one-time gift, or perhaps show your support through a recurring gift? With your support, we can amplify our voice for justice in the wider world and reduce the burden of debt on our hardworking students. As it feels right, and as you feel called to do so, we invite you to show your support for our new graduates, our current students, and our future students with a gift for theological education. These gifts can be offered in person for those who are in the sanctuary this evening at Mount Diablo Unitarian Universalist Church, or online by visiting www.sksm.edu/22grads to make your gift today. We'll put that in the chat as well. We are grateful for all the gifts of time, talent, and treasure that are offered to the Starr King community, and extend our profound appreciation for your willingness to commit to sustaining our mission and supporting our students. Thank you.
Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you lie, will lie, beloved. Where you lie, will lie. Where you lie, will lie, beloved. Where you lie, will lie. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, ancestor. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, ancestor. Where you go, I will go. Where you lie, will lie, ancestor. Where you lie, will lie. Where you lie, will lie, ancestor. Where you lie, will lie. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, Starr King. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, Starr King. Where you go, I will go. Where you lie, will lie, Starr King. Where you lie, will lie. Where you lie, will lie, Starr King. Where you lie, will lie. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you lie, will lie, beloved. Where you lie, will lie. Where you lie, will lie, beloved. Where you lie, will lie. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine.
That was beautiful. I am Nancy Reed McKee. I use she, her pronouns, and I am a graduate of this class of 2018. On behalf of the Graduate Association for the Starr King School of the Ministry, I want to welcome you all, brand new graduates. You have spent so many hours of hard work, changing your minds, challenging your bodies and your hearts to become the people that you are here today. I am so proud of each and every one of you because you are entering a new phase of your life and bringing your blessings to our world. Thank you. Thank you for being willing to change yourself, to nurture your spirit, and to be part of healing this world. And I implore you, do not grow distant from us, your beloved community. I want to formally invite each of you to join our graduate association. Together, we continue to support the school, assuring that those who come after us are able to be part of this school that transforms our lives. Please make sure you visit the website and register in the Starr King Graduate Connection page so you stay and remain connected with us into the future. Blessed be, my beloveds. Welcome, new graduates.
Between Us by John O'Donohue. At any time, you can ask yourself, at which threshold am I now standing? At this time in my life, what am I leaving? Where am I about to enter? What is preventing me from crossing my next threshold? What gift would enable me to do it? A threshold is not a simple boundary, it is a frontier that divides two different territories, rhythms, and atmospheres. Indeed, it is a lovely testimony to the fullness and integrity of an experience or a stage of life that it intensifies towards the end into a real frontier that cannot be crossed without the heart being passionately engaged and woken up. At this threshold, a great complexity of emotion comes alive: confusion, fear, excitement, sadness, hope. This is one of the reasons such vital crossings were always clothed in ritual. It is wise in your own life to be able to recognize and acknowledge the key thresholds, to take your time, to feel all the varieties of presence that accrue there, to listen inward with complete attention until you hear the inner voice calling you forward. The time has come to cross.
Oh, dear ones, one last blessing. Gracious Spirit of all life, God of many names and one abundant love, look at what we have done together. Gaze upon these new graduates, physically, here, virtually, everywhere, ready to take up their part of the great work. Sustain them and uphold them. Sustain and uphold us all as we cross the threshold of this space into a new reality. We ask these things in the name of all that is holy. Amen.
Has anybody seen the choir? I want to preach to the converted. I want to see them rising up. Don't want to see one gaze converted. Don't want to have to prove a point. Just want to know they're on my side. Just want to smile and inspire. Has anybody seen the choir? Has anybody seen the church? Maybe that's where I can find them, standing tall against the fray, strength and unity behind them. Have they gathered at the river? Are they washed upon the shore? Have they set the world on fire? Has anybody seen the choir? Has anybody seen the choir? I want to preach to the converted. I want to see them rising up. Don't want to see one gaze averted. Don't want to have to prove a point. Just want they teaching in the schools? Are they drinking in the bars? Are they making all the rules? Are they fighting in the wars? All I want to do is get a glimpse of who they are. Has anybody ever seen the choir? Though we may never reach consensus, hope is still within our reach. We can learn to move together, put some motion in our speech. We are a mighty congregation with strength beyond our reach. We have the passion and desire. Has anybody seen the choir? Has anybody seen the choir? I want to preach to the converted. I want to see them rising up. Don't want to see one get converted. Don't want to have to prove a point. Just want to know they're on my side. Just want to smile and inspire. Has anybody seen the choir? Just want to smile and inspire. Has anybody seen the choir?
Thank you so much. Congratulations.